Hey, this is Chazz Palminteri. A new show today. It's a special day. Don't forget the one-man show. Go to chazzpalminteri.net. chazzpalminteri.net. If you want great Italian food, you visit my restaurants. Chazz Palminteri is on 30 West 46th Street, and the second one in White Plains, 264 Main Street. We are one of the top Italian restaurants in all of New York, and it's got to be good because my name is on it. So today we have, every week I hear the same thing. When are you going to get the girls back on? When are you going to get the girls back on? Here they are. The wonderful Kathrine Narducci and the hilarious Tara Tracy. Right?
I got it.
Okay, so before...
Tracy.
Canis Tracy.
It's not concentration. It's not Tracy. It's...
Canis Tracy.
We do this every week.
No, wait, Canis Tracy.
Yes.
I said it right.
Did he say it right?
He says it, he always says Can.
Okay, it's Canis Tracy. As you can see, 3 Italians right here.
New Yorkers.
New York Italians. 2 from the Bronx and 1 from East Harlem. Right. Well, we're going to talk about icks. Now, what do you mean by icks? Now, in other words, things that annoy you, right?
Things that annoy you. I just heard ick. I never heard of ick before. We call it pet peeves, but
pet peeves.
Today it's
icks. Well, that's what John said, right? That's what they're calling the kids. Okay. The kids these days, they're calling it the icks.
These days are calling it the icks.
Okay, and the thing we're going to say is, and you don't have to be in show business like us to have this, right? Is don't you hate, listen to me folks out there, think about what I'm saying. Don't you hate when someone comes over your house and you introduce them to them, and after, by the end of the evening, they're best friends, which is fine. Can't be jealous. It's nice that they met somebody nice at your house. Yeah, but then they ask that person for their number, which I think is wrong. They should ask you if it's all right. And second, they invite them out for dinner.
Without you.
I mean, don't you think I don't know. That kind of annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
no-no.
That's a no-no. That's a double no.
No, it's like all of a sudden then you find out they went out to dinner together. I don't know. I mean, some people would say, Chazz, you're being too sensitive. Other people would say, no, I think that's wrong.
No, how about we'll put a little cherry on it. How about they become friends with your friend, and then they invite you out. Hey, you want to come out with me and, Gobbitygots? I'm like, you're inviting me out with you and my friend? Maybe I'll go. That's nice of you to invite me out with my friend of 30 years.
Right. Tara, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I see that would bother me.
Would that bother you?
Yeah. All of a sudden, friends were hanging out without me that I introduced. Like, if you have introduced people and then they've excluded you, that's a weird feeling.
Okay, so what if you, I could see that's bothering you. What if every single person you introduce me to, give me a phone, down the line, at some point in the night,
well, here, I think what the biggest pet peeve about it, or the biggest ick, I want to be trendy, is that we were talking about people with obvious agendas, not just a person really connecting with somebody and saying, oh, I really felt connected to this person, let's hang out. But it's more about like somebody who has an agenda, like it's a specific person. Like,
right.
I hang out with your family. I've hung out with your family, or I've gone to a restaurant or seen Caroline or met your daughter for lunch, or when but it's not that. It's people who have an agenda, people who are going after specific friends, particularly when you're in the industry, which is what we were talking about before the cameras turned on.
Yes.
And you have been, Kathrine, probably.
I've been a victim of that.
A victim of it
100,000 times over.
But and your stories are cringeworthy. And
how about the friend that they meet your celebrity friends or your friends in the business? They're not in the business, but they meet your writer friend, your director friend, your actor friend, and they're like, oh my God, I love them. They're so nice. They got their number. They exchanged numbers. They made sure they got that number. And they're just so nice. They're so nice. And then it's like, you seem to think that all my friends in the industry is so nice, but Why don't you exchange numbers with the plumber, the baker, the shoemaker, my teacher friend?
Mm-hmm.
You just always seem to be thinking everybody's so nice that happens to be in the industry.
Right.
That's the
That's
ick.
the anger.
That's the ultimate ick.
Well, how do you feel about this? I know I'm going to ask Tara first because
Go ahead.
I know the answer that she's going to say.
Go ahead.
But how would you feel if one of your friends, right, and she says to you, hey, you know what? I really got to talk to Michael about something. Could I have his number? Could I ask Michael for his number? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
You're okay.
One of my friends, Kathrine, has Mike's number.
Okay.
Gianna has Mike's number.
But how about a friend you don't know that well? You kind of just once in a while see her. And she's speaking to Mike, and she doesn't ask you. She goes right to Mike and says, "Could I have your number?" Does that bother you?
No, it depends on the person. Yes,
Depends on the person.
It depends on the person.
Are you okay with somebody saying to you, Kathrine? Well, you're single right now, so, but you're okay with another girl saying? I mean, I had a girl say to my wife, "Could you?" This was her words. She was an actress. She said, "Could you give me your husband's phone number so I could call him? I'm going to ask him a question." Now, what did I tell you about my wife? My wife is like, "What? No. You give me the question,
Right? That I agree
and I will
with.
tell
Yeah.
my husband. You know, I'm not giving you my husband's cell number so you could no, and I know my wife did not like her anyway, so that didn't help. But I just think I just thought that was a little rough.
Yeah, I think that's so rude. So you're not even being considerate about what you're saying. You're not even thinking about what you're actually doing. It's
How about like we could say, well, look, Kathrine, you and I, and Tara too. We all know very famous people. How about if they go, give me, hey, you know, Kathrine, I got a great project for Harvey Keitel. Could you give me his number? I want to talk to him. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's
weird.
Like, it's like, what the? People say that to you. People say that to me. Oh, I really love to meet Robert De Niro. I got a script for him. I go, do you think that I would bring you to fucking Robert De Niro and bust his balls?
Oh my God.
I said, are you fucking crazy? Are you? They said, well,
Bust
you know.
his balls.
They go, well, you know, you can't. I had this one guy say to me, well, you can't help another Italian.
Oh.
He said that to me.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
gonna use that.
He used that angle.
He's gonna use the old "you can't help another Italian."
Right. I hit the ceiling. Don't you fucking dare say that to me. I help many Italians. But how rude it is for you to say that to me and then try to guilt me into doing that. Yeah. I go, no, that will never happen.
Well, that's the other ick, the entitlement.
Guilt bait.
Guilt bait.
Entitlement. That is probably my biggest, like, the
Ick.
thing that turns me off.
That's your ick?
That entitlement. That you feel you're entitled to something. Like, that, my motto, like, work hard, do good work, be kind, keep it, you know. People who just feel like I'm entitled to this, or I'm going to come over to Chazz, I'm going to ask Chazz for this, I'm going to ask Kathrine to get me this. These are my friends. I don't ask them for things. Like, people that have that in them to actually ask, that blows my mind. That, to me, that's the biggest thing. Like, that's my get away from me. When you can go, oh, I want to do this. I want to be on your podcast. I want to be here.
No, it has to be a natural thing.
Yeah.
And you know how I am when you bring up somebody or I bring up, I say, hey, could you speak to them about being on the show, Kathrine?
Yeah.
And I said, but always tell them, hey, I would love to have him on, but if he can't or she can't, there's no pressure here.
Right.
It's easy breezy over here at the Neighborhood Logic.
Easy breezy.
It's easy breezy.
Yeah, I mean, I always feel that way. It's never, I never want to put pressure on somebody. When you pressure somebody, they run away.
And Kathrine was mentioning before, too, that, like, there's people who you see their agenda right away. Like, those people, I'm like, I got to get away because I can't. Right from the start, I know I'm not going to be able to tolerate you. But and this has probably happened with her more, is that she's been fooled by people because she didn't see the agenda. And then it revealed itself, and then you thought that was even more of a dangerous person.
Yeah, I have PTSD with that.
Really?
I have a PTSD syndrome with that. Well, why don't we take some questions? I don't want to go on these long rants anymore.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I did good.
You think we did enough with the
We did the ick thing.
All right, John, you have any your thing out there from the questions that people sent in?
Well, so you partially answered the ick question, right?
Okay.
Partially.
So, and why I say partially is because ick is a pet peeve, but a lot of the terms they refer to ick in terms of relationships. So I have a funny story. Here's an example. One of my girlfriends, she dated this guy for like a month. She's a marathon runner. They went out for a jog, and she came back, and she's like, I don't know if I can be with him anymore. I was like, why not? She said, because of the way he runs, he flails his arms.
I know somebody that has.
So what's your ick in terms of relationships?
Oh, shit.
I just don't think she likes him enough. Because if she really liked him, it wouldn't bother her. Then again, I did date a girl once. She was very attractive, very wealthy. It was a beer family, a very famous beer family. And I was in
Budweiser?
No, actually, it wasn't Budweiser, no.
Heineken.
No, I could tell you where it was. It was so many years ago, she probably doesn't remember. It was Ballantine beer. Remember Ballantine beer?
Yeah.
Okay. And we were sitting at a restaurant. I'll never forget. It was Jack Dempsey's. And we had the famous cheesecake. And I liked her so much, but she laughed. It drove me crazy. It's the way she laughed. And it would drive me out of my mind. I said, I don't know if I could take this anymore. And then finally she had the cheesecake in her mouth, and it was kind of hanging.
Oh, that's it.
It was kind of hanging. You know, and I said a funny thing, and she went, and I said, it was like the jaw came out. And I went, right there I knew. I said, okay, this is it. And I think she knew, too. I took her back to the brownstone.
Oh, you were going to say the hotel.
No.
We heard the brownstone.
No, she lived at a
He went the brownstone.
No, she lived at a brownstone in the 60s, right off Fifth Avenue, a beautiful brownstone. That could be mine today. It's probably worth about $30 million. And I looked at her, I said, all right, I'll give you a call. And she looked at me. And I could see in her eyes, she said, this guy's not going to call me again.
Oh,
she knew. And that was it. But it was that laugh.
Do you think it was where you looked at her? She clocked your look at her.
I think she clocked my look. She knew, because I knew it was the laugh. The laugh killed me, but the cheesecake hanging with the laugh, I couldn't do it.
Oh, Jesus Christmas!
I once didn't date a guy because he didn't know what kind of cheese was on pizza, and I was like, "This is never gonna work."
So that's an ick.
That's an ick. You didn't know what kind of cheese was on pizza, and that's where
I broke up with a girl. She didn't know what a cannoli was. I said, you don't know what a cannoli is? She goes,
this is
no.
the most New York it's out.
I said, a cannoli? You never heard of the word cannoli? She goes, I really never knew what it meant. I went, okay.
Oh, my God.
Do you have an ick like that, Kat?
I do. I have one as far as it's not a relationship, it's a dating thing. Is that okay for the answer?
Yeah.
This guy that I was crazy about years ago, I was like, I didn't ever think he would like me for some reason. I don't know why. And he didn't know me. And then I was introduced to him, and that night he asked me out. And I was like, oh, my God. And I ran home. I mean, this was years ago. I was 26. I ran home, and I told my mother. I said, oh, my God, he asked me out. I can't believe it. My mother was so excited. She goes, I'm going to come downstairs. I'm going to act like I'm going to go buy cigarettes when he pulls up. What time is he coming? 7:30. My mother comes out of the building, 7:30. She goes, and the car was there. She goes, all right, I'm going to go get cigarettes. I said, oh, Ma, come and say hi. He goes, wait. He got out of the car to come around the car. He had on black dress pants, black shoes with white sweat socks.
Oh.
It was just the white sweat socks with the black dress pants and the
Was he a waiter?
beautiful shoe with a thick black sweat sock.
What'd you do? That was it?
It was black? It wasn't a white sweat sock?
It was a white sweat
right.
You
sock.
just said black sweat sock.
Oh, no,
yeah.
a black sweat sock with black dress pants, black shoes. And I said, oh, wait 1 second. I ran into my mother went into the deli, and I went into the deli, and I said, Mom, what do you think? While he was there, she goes, oh, my God, why does he have white sweat socks on? I didn't even want to get in the car. I looked down. I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
And the whole night, and then here's the killer. He took his shoes off in the car, and his feet stunk.
What?
Oh, no, that's
No,
it.
I swear.
No,
his
that's
feet
it.
stunk
Oh,
like
that's
cheese.
It. No,
No,
oh,
all right.
oh.
And
That's it. That's it.
Cheese feet.
did you kiss him?
Cheese feet.
Did you kiss him?
You know,
No, I couldn't.
talk about crushes like that. I mean, maybe this is. There was a girl, like you said, in high school. She used to walk by. She was blonde. She looked like older than all the other girls because the way she dressed, the way she was put together. She always looked older. And she used to walk back and forth. And I used to look at her, and she looked at me, and I said, man, this girl is stunning. The guys would go nuts over her. And I heard that a lot of guys were in love with her. And I said, I got to talk to this girl. I got to talk to her. So finally, she walked by and I stopped and I started smiling. And she smiled back at me. And then the next day we started talking. And she says to me, why don't we go to, hang out after school a little bit? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, believe me. And, I did all right. I got a lot of girls, but this girl fucked my head up. I was like nuts over her.
Wow.
And I said, great, So that I remember having dinner that night, and I couldn't wait to see her, and I got all dressed, and we come over the house. I go over the house, and she said, she goes, oh, I have. I said, oh, I want to take you out. We're going to go. She goes, no, I have some food here.
At her house?
At a house. She goes, my parents are in Europe. We're alone. And now I'm going, holy shit. This is like, holy shit.
Holy moly.
Is this a dream? We sit down and we eat, right? She has the food there, and I'm eating, and she's eating. She sent out for the food. She didn't. She said it was like, it was a very ritzy apartment on the Grand Concourse. This is 40, 50
Wow.
This is like 50 years ago.
When the Grand Concourse was ritzy.
Was ritzy, right.
Those buildings are beautiful.
Those buildings are beautiful, right? I'm having dinner with her. I'm gone. Music playing in the background. She has a white ivory grand piano right in the living room, right faceless, right? And she said, we're eating dinner, we're laughing, talking. I'm nuts over her.
Wow.
And she says, Chazz, I play piano. I go, you do? She goes, yes, I sing, I'm recording songs. I said, you're going to be recording music? I was like freaking out. She goes, yes. She goes, I'll play you something. So she gets behind the piano, she's playing it. She was really good. And she says, Chazz, this song is dedicated to you. Right? And she starts playing One Boy from Bye Bye Birdie. Now the song goes,
One boy, one
special,
steady boy,
one special boy,
one boy to laugh with, to walk
She's
with,
singing
to
it.
talk with.
I'm fucking gone.
You're dead.
Dead.
You're dead.
I would have gave her my soul at that moment.
Holy shit.
Where did she bomb?
I'm looking at
You would have
We're
shook
waiting
hands
for
with
Baby
the
Doll.
devil himself.
So, one boy, one special boy, one boy to laugh
Oh
with,
my
to cry with,
God.
and sing great, play great, right? So then she goes, so she finishes it, and then she comes to laugh with, and she's like this to
The
me.
breath knocked you over.
No, and I'm like, right? I'm like close with her, and all of a sudden she says, oh. And I said, she goes, listen, I have to get up early tomorrow. I'm going to have to ask you to leave right at the end. So I go, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, anything.
Yeah.
So I go out the door, and she's got the door in her hand like this. So I said, really, it was a magical evening. And I go like this. I just want to tell you, and I'm going like this. She goes, okay, good night. Shuts the door right in my face. Shuts the door in my face.
On your face.
Like, I went to kiss, and she goes, okay, no, I gotta go. Like this. And I went, wasn't even upset. I'm walking down the street, tapping my heels, right? Next day, I see her walking in the hall, ignored the shit out of me.
You had the ick.
Oh my God, it's a reverse ick.
It's
a reverse ick.
Ignored me. And I was like, I said, I don't want to say her name, but I said, hey, she went, and she kept walking. So I was like, what? For a week, I was like fucking dying.
Did you ever get the $1 million reason why?
He had white sweat
She
socks
did
on.
that to all the guys. Not only to me. She goes, did she pull the shit with you, one boy shit? I went, yes. She did it to all the fucking seniors in high school.
She's the sadistic
bitch. Right?
I mean,
But here's
it's a
the
little
market.
hard.
Here's the end of the story. I ignored her. And then she tried to talk to me. And they said that she would do that. I said, fuck her. I said, no, it's all right. No, cool. And you know what? After a while, I really ignored it. She came over, she goes, you really did. I said, no, it's cool. And then to make a long story short,
You got it.
I got it. So it worked out in the end.
You got it.
I got it. Yeah, I got it. We don't have to get into it. But that was that.
Wow, that's some story, Chazz.
So I took a poll, and there's so many common icks. A lot of them have to do with chewing with your mouth open. One of them has to do with somebody's OCD where they're constantly rearranging stuff. And then the other one is about the person always being late. Those are the three that I've been seeing the most.
Gianna! Well, Jonna. I mean, Jonna, when I first met her, was 2 hours late all the time. And I said, Jonna, you don't seem to understand. 2 hours is not late. That's not showing up.
Yeah.
That's not late. Now I got it down to like a half hour. A half hour.
That's good.
But still late.
So this is that
But
person's
that's
question.
not your ick because it's 31 years.
I'm used to it, yeah.
It says, I'm a longtime listener and need some advice. My partner has a perpetual issue with punctuality. They are always running late. It's become a recurring source of frustration, and whenever I try to discuss it, it seems to escalate into an argument. Blah, blah, blah. Do you have any suggestions on how to approach this issue? Thanks in advance.
Well, wow.
The resident expert here.
I tried everything, and if they just won't do it themselves, there's really nothing you could do. I tried telling her a half hour early. I tried to say this is so important. You know what I try to do? The only thing that gets a rise out of her is when she wants to go somewhere real important, I'll deliberately try to be late.
No, you just confessed that. Now she's gonna see the
No, but she
episode.
knows I'm doing it on purpose.
Oh, okay.
And I'll take my time getting dressed. She goes, the wedding, we have to be there. This is my sister's wedding. And I'll go,
A sister's wedding?
yeah.
You chose to
yeah.
do it?
And I'll say, now you know how it feels now.
Oh my
And I'll go
God.
like this. Oh, it's frustrating. You know how it just feels? This is what I feel. I'm never like, and she, denial. Wow. I feel for that guy. There's nothing you can do unless she's willing to change. If not, then,
You don't have any advice for him?
No, because if she won't change, my wife, I got her down to a half hour, sometimes telling her a half hour ahead, but they get hip to that after a while. So
Right.
I don't know what the answer is.
So this other one has an ick about somebody chewing with their mouth open.
It's gross.
Does that annoy you guys? How do you go about telling someone?
I don't know.
I don't want to see the food in your mouth when you're chewing, though.
I think it annoys women more than men.
Well, you just didn't like the cheesecake.
It was hanging out of her lip. The cheesecake was hanging.
Is that a deal breaker you're saying to people? Like
I think
won't,
it could be
that's
like
a deal
gavonish. Is that a
I don't
term?
know if it's a deal breaker. It says on a date at a fancy restaurant, the person notices their date committing, this is my ultimate pet peeve, chewing with their mouth open. They struggle to maintain their composure, and with each sound smacking against their lips, I can't stand it.
Wow.
I don't even know.
Smacking.
I don't even know if that doesn't just bother me in a fancy restaurant. If I'm sitting down with you and you're like, like anybody I'd be like,
Yeah.
that's annoying.
I'll say, hey, man,
Yeah.
And I've done that. And when my son goes, Dad, or my daughter, they'll look at me like, what are you doing?
Close your mouth.
Close your mouth. And I go, oh shit. Okay. All right. So I have done that.
This one's kind of funny,
I feel
too.
like Chazz wrote in the one about the time and Gianna wrote in the one about chewing with your mouth open. Where are these questions really coming from?
They're writing to each other, just cleaning out airing
that's
out their
true.
laundry.
Does it bother you when you order? This is the thing I went through with Sandy Blue Eyes. Sandy Blue Eyes says if he's on a date, he cannot stand a girl if he orders a bottle of beer, drinks from the bottle.
That's an old school
Do
thing.
you drink from the bottle?
What do you mean, like a
A
wine
beer bottle?
No, a bottle of beer, like a bottle of. No, Kathrine, like a bottle of beer. You're at a sports bar and you order a bottle of beer. You order a bottle of Miller or a bottle of Coors. You order a Coors bottle. A lot of girls will just drink it. They got jeans on, a tank top, and they'll drink it. Would you? It doesn't bother
Yeah, I
me.
would, because I've ordered beer before, and then the bartender didn't bring me my glass, and I'm sitting there, and I don't want the beer to get
Warm.
so I just drink it from the bottle.
Right.
But I do prefer
Put it in a glass.
yeah, but I don't think it's a big deal breaker.
How about
I had
you?
an ex-boyfriend. My first boyfriend would be like, don't ever drink a beer from a bottle.
I've never heard
Because you're
that.
a woman.
I don't know either. I never.
I to be honest with you now, if I want a beer, cold beer, if I'm having a barbecue at a friend's house, I want it in the bottle. I want it as cold as possible right from that bottle. I think there's a way you can be not a, gavone.
I don't think that's gavonish at all.
either.
No, but I understand that. I don't agree with it.
think it's
but
an old school
it's
thing.
a very old school thing.
What about like a soda bottle or a milk carton that has like a half of a glass left? Do you guys pour that in a cup or drink it out of the bottle?
Milk?
Like milk or soda? If it's in
Oh,
the
you don't
fridge.
drink that out of the carton. No, that you pour into a glass.
If it's the
What are you,
last part of
Gavone, John?
if
No.
it's the last part of the milk, I've drinking out
If
of
you
the
live
carton.
alone,
Oh, I never did that. If you drink alone, all bets are
you
off.
Well, you're gonna. Well, what's the difference if you live alone? If you took the last sip and you're throwing it in the garbage.
I got to be honest. I never took it out of the carton ever. I always throw it in the water.
Every single movie,
the-
somebody's
in the
drinking
van.
milk out of a carton. So
Really?
Middle America has no problem with it.
Yeah, I'm on Catherine's side on this one. If there's like a sip of milk left, I'll drink that and throw it out rather than wash a glass.
I probably put
That's
it in
an
a
Irish
glass.
thing, maybe.
Yeah, I put,
Could be.
I put it in a glass.
Oh, good thing Colin's not here.
I'm just kidding.
Good thing he left.
So what's the other question?
Okay, we're still on the icks though. This person has a problem with double dipping. He says their partner consistently double dips.
There was
and
a
it
whole
irritates them.
Seinfeld episode about it.
Yeah, I mean, it is weird that you take a dip and then you double dip again, and your mouth and everything, your saliva goes in the avocado. I kind of agree with
But
that.
not if you're just with your significant other.
No, I know,
You
I
swap
agree.
and spits 2 minutes after we eat the
Right.
avocado.
Okay, yeah, but would you use your significant other's toothbrush?
No.
That's a good question.
Actually, I
I
would
won't.
if I forgot mine. I would put it on the hot water, clean it, sterilize it, soap it, and then say, "Here's your."
And then maybe I'd do it. Would you use it?
No.
Tara? No.
And I wouldn't share milk with someone. I don't know. That's a weird.
You wouldn't share milk?
Like, it's one thing if I take a sip of my husband's drink or whatever, or But if you have milk, I'm not sharing your milk.
Well, how about?
I don't know. There's some.
Well, how about this, the folks out there? How do you feel about when everybody orders, your dish comes, and immediately your significant other or somebody you know close starts picking from your dish?
I don't mind that.
You don't mind that?
No, that bothers me. I have a nephew that we always yell at because I'm like, you're just going in people's plates.
No, he said his plate and his significant other, not your nephew.
Significant other. Oh yeah, I'll eat whatever, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, but if it's
100%.
just- But say it's
I'll
just
take
like
it with my hand. No, I'm kidding.
Say-
Yeah, I go right in for it.
I
with
think
my
it would
fork.
hurt me. Bother me if I was starving. When I'm starving, I just leave me alone. You got your food.
no.
I
When
got
you're
my
hungry, I seen that.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah, I could eat 3 dinners.
it's
You got to
bad.
see the scar I got on my arm from help. No, I'm kidding.
It's bad. I mean, what about anything else, John?
Yeah, so this is the last one I have. It says, during a movie date, my date insisted on whispering loudly throughout the entire film, offering running commentary on every scene.
Oh, you're talking to
That's bad.
Yeah,
actors here.
they're debating on calling them back and taking them out. Obviously not to another movie, but
Well, no, you got to tell them. Listen, I don't mind. I want to watch the movie, but let's not, stop talking. Let's watch the damn movie.
I feel like they would take that personally, though. They'd be like,
I don't
"Me,
care if they
shut
take
up."
it personally. I don't. I would stop them right away. I say, Shh, let's just watch it. We'll talk later.
Yeah, it's best basic common sense.
It's common
Who
sense.
cares
man.
if they don't get it or it's insulting? You're wrong. It's like, no.
Somebody
Next.
somebody once said to me, the things you accept are the things you regret. So, like, if there are things that really bother you about a person in the beginning, but you go, oh, it's all right, it's right. At the end, it's what makes you, like,
Leave
real.
them.
Yeah, they're like, those are the real.
You might as well
like,
say
I
it.
saw this in the beginning, but you go, oh, all right, okay, he chews with his mouth open, okay, she's late, whatever. But at the end, it's like, that's like your.
You know what? And I know this might be a little off the subject, but I want to just get it out before we close. And that is things that a man should watch. And if a woman has any one of these traits, don't go out. You got to walk
I want to
away.
hear this.
Yeah, okay. Number one, if a woman says, I have all male friends, I don't get along with women, run.
Red flag.
Run, run, run. If you know a woman out there that says, I only have male friends, I really don't get along with women, get in your car, put Mexico, and get the fuck out of there. I'm telling you now. Because, wait a minute. If you meet a girl and she knows the whole band by their first names, run. Get out of there. If she knows the whole band by their first name, that's it.
She knows their
Wow.
She knows
Gotta
their
go.
shoe size.
3.
Three, and this is the third one. And the great Frank Sinatra told me this himself.
Wow.
He said, if you're at a bar and a woman orders Jack Daniels on the rocks, run.
I love that.
What?
Run.
I love that.
Are you kidding me?
Jack Daniels means watch out.
That must have been
Wow.
Ava Gardner's drink.
Must have been Ava Gardner's drink.
Wow.
So have you heard anything about? Is there anything about a guy when you meet? Either one of you could start. That these are some things are deal breakers. That's it.
Go ahead, Tara.
Go. You go.
I don't mind paying half the check.
All the time?
Not all the time, but the first day, like I just went on a date with a guy, and he said to me, "How do you want to do it?" It's not even about the money.
When the check came?
Yeah.
Oh no.
But
I'll do half the check.
This is the same guy that I said she shouldn't go back out with, because when I asked her if she wanted to make out with him, she went, ew. So I go, then why are you going on the second date?
So you went on the first date with him, and he said, "How you want to do this?"
He said, "How do you want to do it? Credit card or cash?"
Hey, buddy.
No.
You know who you are. How could you do this? A beautiful girl like this, you say, "How do you want to do this?" And what was the check? Was it a big check?
No. On the way under 100.
Under 100. Who the fuck is this guy? You know what, buddy? You're lucky we don't out you right now. You'll never get another date. I don't care who you are, how talented you are. He asked you out?
Yeah. What do you think? I asked him out?
You ask a girl out to dinner, and then the check comes and you say, "Who ate the shrimp?" Is that what you say?
Who ate the shrimp? Can we name this episode "Who Ate the Shrimp"?
No, he actually went half.
But he asked you out for dinner.
I didn't understand it.
Well, listen,
Again,
what
the peanut
happens?
Gallery saying no.
What would you say if you guys went out on a first date and say he asked you out? He was planning on paying for the bill. He didn't plan on spending more than $150. And then you ordered a boatload of drinks and you racked up the bill to like $1,000.
Well,
But is he going to tell me hey, we're on a budget right now? I'm not going to spend more than $200. What do I know? I'm having a good time.
know.
I order a few drinks.
it's not going to be $1,000,
That's
John.
gonna be
But like, what if you
$1,000?
felt that the girl was only asking you out to get free food and free drinks?
Then you
That's
shouldn't
a
go out
horse
with
of
her.
a different color. We're talking
this
about
guy
a
asked you
real
on a
date.
and then you gotta no. See, I don't care what year we're in. The guy's asking a woman on a date, as old school as that may sound, or as not trendy as it is. A guy picks up the first date.
That's actually a question we have for the next episode.
Okay, we'll talk about that the next episode. Hey, guys, this is Chazz Palminteri Podcast. I am with Neighborhood Logic Girls here right now. We got Kathrine Narducci and the great comedian Tara Kenneth Tracy.
He'll get it.
I'll get it one day.
Tara
It's only 6
Minestrone.
years.
Tara,
It's only
well,
6
first of all,
years.
Tara, where are you going to be? Tell the audience.
Where am I going to be? I'm going to be in South Carolina. I just booked South Carolina, July 10th. I'll be at Wanderers Theater in South Carolina. June 22nd, I don't know when we're airing this, June 22nd, I'll be at Stamford, Connecticut, New York Comedy Club. And then Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club. I added an extra date because the shows are selling. I'll be there June 29th and July 7th and 8th.
And they could always go on your
TaraJokes.com, or you can even go on my YouTube channel too. It's at Tara Jokes if you're watching us on YouTube. But all my social media is Tara Jokes.
Now, Kathrine Narducci, the great actor. Kathrine, tell us the new movie you have coming out with Mr. Robert De Niro.
It was called Wise Guys. Now it's called Alto Nights.
What is it?
Alto Nights.
Alto Nights.
ALTO
And
Nights.
director by-
like Knight in Shining Armor.
And directed by Barry Levinson.
Yeah, the great Barry Levinson.
Great Barry Levinson. And Bob is playing two parts.
Yeah.
Who's he playing?
He's playing
Frank Costello?
Frank Costello and Vito Genovese.
And Vito Genovese.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if anybody...
Wait, and I'm going to be the Grand Marshal this year of the St. Gennaro Feast.
Feast! All right!
First female.
The first female Grand Marshal, Kathrine Narducci, this little girl who grew up in Harlem, right there, and now she's going to be the Grand Marshal at the St. Gennaro Feast.
The Queen's Wave, baby.
All right, don't forget ChazzPalminteri.net. Check out my restaurants, Chazz Palminteri's 30 West 46th Street, 264 Main Street in White Plains. God bless you, and we'll see you next week.